Welcome to Step Into Your Greatness. I am so excited. It is Monday morning, and I had a great weekend. I hope you guys did as well. It was a fantastic weekend. We had our city here celebrates July 4th, always the Saturday before, with a big parade. It's an all day event. They do a parade, and they do a big show, and then they do a big 25 minute fireworks show. It's really cool, and it was awesome. We got to spend time with good friends and fellowship with them and hang out at their pool and have some good food and good eats. It was fantastic. Watched some soccer, of course. Went to some soccer actually and supported some teams that were in the same program with. And so, with that, I hope you guys had a fun-filled weekend as well, and it was amazing. However, it was one thing this weekend that was really powerful for me, and I wanted to share it because it created the message that I wanted to share with you to get today, which was faith plus focus equals results. And you're probably going, "Oh, okay, I kind of get it, Joe. What are you aiming for?" Well, yesterday we went to church, and we haven't been to our church actually in a while, actually a long time. And for that, I kind of kick myself because every time I show up, the message always just seems to be just right for me, just what I needed to hear at just the right time. Remember, guys, it's not about not having what you don't. It's about being excited about what you have right now. All right, being fully present, even though you're going forward. So, anyways, we go to church yesterday, and we walked in and we sat down, and it was youth. The youth group actually took over the service. So the youth worship led the worship, which was fantastic. It was amazing. All these kids could be on American Idol, as far as I'm concerned. The youth pastor gave the message, and it was really cool because he started getting in this message, and I don't want to. I'm not doing this to preach at you guys or anything. I'm sharing. I want to share the value of this message because he talked about the story of the book of Matthew and the story of Peter when Jesus had told him to walk, jump out of the boat and walk on water to him. And at first, the cool thing is about the story is Peter just without hesitation just jumped in, and he started to walk towards Jesus, and then he got scared. Much like we do in our lives, we get scared and we get sidetracked by either the people, our environment around us, by maybe we're not experiencing those little milestone wins, those little successes that compounded over time equal really big successes. And the same thing happened for Peter. Is like as soon as he was in, he was ready to get out because he started looking away. And as the story goes, he took his eyes off of Jesus. He had the faith to jump all in. However, he was sidetracked by all the distractions, and that's how business works. Especially if you're an entrepreneur or a small business owner, it's really common to retreat to what is comfortable. So we might jump in thinking we have the faith, when in reality we're taking some risk, and that risk gets a little too uncomfortable, so we go right back to our comfort zone. All right. And what I would challenge you to is in those moments is to stay focused, stay committed. And so we leave church, we come home, we have a great Sunday, just relaxing and re-energizing for this week, getting ready. And this morning I got up and I went on my walk, and as I was listening to the podcast that I love to listen to in the morning, he interviewed somebody that had wrote a book about how willpower doesn't work. I thought, okay, cool, I'll listen to it. I love the podcast. And as they started to dig deeper into this interview, one of the things that he talked about was removing the distractions that don't support you, removing the things from your environment that don't support you in getting to the goals that you say you want in your life. I thought, man, okay, first, I got it from a biblical perspective yesterday about you've got to have faith, which is commitment, okay? You've got to have 100% intention, all right? Because if you have 98% intention, the challenge is that 2% of the time that you're not committed, what's going to happen? All right, you've got to have 100% intention, 100% commitment. And Peter, like I said, he thought he had 100% commitment, and then right away he was boom out of the water. Well, I'm listening to this podcast this morning, and I thought, well, this is pretty cool because they started talking about, for example, uh, staying healthy. And the person doing the interview said, well, I don't have any dessert foods, nothing in my home, so I'm not tempted because it's much easier to to not have it in the home than it is to rely on my willpower or my focus to not eat it if it is here. And I thought, man, that is really powerful because I'm in the same boat. I watch what I eat. However, I love to have a little bit of sweet after I've had a meal. Just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. And like last night, I dove in. We took the kids to frozen yogurt, and they didn't have any flavors that I really like. So I told my wife, you know what? I'm going to go by CVS and go get my thrifty ice cream on the way home. All right, I really wanted some ice cream. We didn't have any in the house. However, it was on the way home. I thought, oh, I can jump right in. They're eating their yogurt. Everything will be good. And the reality was, it didn't hit me until this morning how powerful that statement is, even about willpower. For me, even willpower, I have to consider, the environments that I put myself in, especially if I'm talking about releasing weight and, getting down to a healthy body weight that I can do the things that I want to do, be active the way I want to be active and have the energy to do the things that I say I want to do. So it was really, really powerful. And, he went as far as saying, it's even removing relationships, removing relationships that don't support you. There's so many different things that it is much easier if you remove those elements from your life so that you don't have to rely on your focus or your willpower per se. And you can stay 100% committed and have 100% intention to getting to your goals, accomplishing your goals, creating the life that you want and deserve, for that matter. So I just found this really, really cool, and I wanted to see, for you guys, I started thinking about it. Well, if I have faith, so if I have 100% intention, 100% commitment, I may not know the mechanism or the way that I'm going to get there. I may not have a clue. However, if I'm 100% committed to something, I know that I can find the answers. I know that I can find somebody to mentor me. All right. And then all it takes is focused, dedicated time, all right, undistracted time to create the results that I say I want. So I thought this was really cool. This is really simple. And yet we make it so incredibly hard and so incredibly challenging, is because, like Peter, when he jumped out of the boat and he was looking at Jesus, and then all of a sudden he started seeing the storm in his peripheral vision. He started seeing the waves, and he got scared and he got distracted, and he jumped back in the boat real fast. All right. And we tend to do that with our lives. We jump back to our comfort zones. And the reality is that when we're uncomfortable, when we're experiencing something we're not really comfortable with, that means that growth is happening. There's an opportunity for growth if we're willing to heighten our awareness to make that change, to make that shift. And so with that, guys, what I want to challenge you with today, this very Monday, is to consider if you have 100% intention, if you're 100% committed to your goals. Because the reality is, a lot of people could say, and even during this podcast interview that I was listening to this morning, he said, well, some people will give me blowback and say that, well, I don't need to remove that stuff from my pantries. I don't need to remove those sweets from my pantries because, I have willpower. And the reality is it's BS, because the willpower, yes, if depending on how strong you are, may win sometimes. However, it won't win all the time. And so it's much easier. And the fact is that willpower is a lot harder. It's a lot harder to have and to use than to just remove it completely from your environment so that you're not even tempted by it. It's kind of the old cliche about smiling is much easier than frowning. You use a lot less muscles to smile than you do to frown. It's the same concept. It's just easier. yet we make it so much harder because we think we have the willpower. That's why when everybody sets out in January, come the beginning of February, they're already done with their New Year's resolutions. Because for one, they weren't 100% committed, and two, they allowed all the distractions of the new year to get in their way, and it's all started with their environment that they've created. So I challenge you today, what are things in your life, what are things in your environment, in your, that you can touch, feel, smell, sense? The people that aren't supporting you, the food that isn't supporting you being healthy, the the activities. What are the things that are in your life right now that are holding you back? Right? Because get committed. All right. If you are not able to remove those from your life, then you're not 100% committed. All right. So I would really ask yourself why you really want to go after those goals. Because if you're not committed, you're not going to remove those things from you, and then ultimately you're just going to fall short of your goals. And then again, you'll start justifying or blaming why you fell short. You'll complain, you'll blame, complain, and justify. So, faith, 100% intention, 100% commitment to whatever you say you want in your life. All right, and understand why you want that. What is so important? What is so valuable that you want that? And then get 100% focused and committed, and eliminate the distractions. That means turn the phone off. When you're working, put your phone away. Put your phone away. Turn it off, put it in airplane mode, or put it in another room. And see how much you get accomplished in 90 minutes without your phone by your side, bugging you, interrupting you all day long, or distracting you and potentially tempting you to go and open up Facebook or whatever your vice may be. Make that change. Make that commitment. Get focused. Eliminate the distractions. And let me know what results you create by doing so. With that, guys, I hope you have a great Monday. It looks like Dan came by today. Dan, welcome. Hello. Good to see you here, bud. So get committed. Have faith. Get focused. And then you'll win. You'll have your results. All right, guys. So with that, have a great Monday. I will see you guys tomorrow. Until then, take care. And make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel here and to the Facebook page if you haven't already. If you just happen to fall upon these videos, make sure that you hit subscribe on YouTube and you hit like on the Facebook fan page. So with that, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey guys, Joe Von Gerichten here. Welcome to Step Into Your Greatness. I am so excited.